Welcome to The Pulse, the beat at the heart of England, bringing you the top stories from the West Midlands. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to support our work. On an otherwise ordinary night in Birmingham on the 6th of September 2020, a series of unprovoked and brutal attacks unfolded, leaving the city in shock and mourning. Over a period of 90 minutes, 29-year-old Zephaniah McLeod carried out 5 separate stabbings, resulting in the death of 23-year-old Jacob Billington and severe injuries to 7 others. McLeod, who was known to mental health services and diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, was sentenced to a minimum of 21 years, with his sentence bifurcated between a high-security psychiatric hospital and prison. The chaotic spree traversed various parts of the city, beginning just after midnight at Constitution Hill. McLeod's first victim, a 33-year-old man, sustained a neck wound. The randomness and violence escalated as McLeod struck again in Livery Street and Barwick Street. At one point, he discarded a knife down a drain, only to return rearmed after briefly stopping at a pizza restaurant to retrieve another weapon and call a taxi. Tragically, it was on Irving Street at approximately 1:50 a.m. that Jacob Billington from Crosby was fatally stabbed while enjoying a night out with friends. His friend Michael Callahan was among those severely injured. The aftermath of the attacks led to a whirlwind of questions and scrutiny, centred on how McLeod, despite his extensive criminal and medical history, had managed to evade adequate supervision and medical care. McLeod had prior convictions for various crimes, including robbery, drug-related offences, and an attack on a 6-month-old baby. Despite these red flags, he was released from prison in April 2020 during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, when many systems were under immense strain. Jacob Billington's family has been vocal about their grief and the systemic failures that allowed McLeod to be free that fateful night. Jacob's mother, Joanne Billington, has emphasised the need for a comprehensive review of McLeod's care, highlighting the numerous unanswered questions about how state agencies managed his condition. Mr. Justice Pepperell, who presided over the case, echoed these sentiments, pointing out the troubling gaps in monitoring and treatment of McLeod following his release from prison. An independent report covering the oversight by police, probation, prison and mental health services was damning in its conclusion. It revealed that McLeod had not been appropriately treated and medicated for nearly a decade, from 2011 to 2020. Alarming observations were made during McLeod's incarceration, including delusions, paranoia and the making of weapons in his cell. Yet he had only a single psychiatric evaluation in the 6 months before his release. McLeod's erratic behaviour continued post-release, culminating in the tragic events of September 2020. In the months following McLeod's release, there was a marked absence of effective monitoring. A probation officer had not seen him in person since 2018, and crucially, there was confusion regarding his whereabouts immediately after his release. Despite McLeod seeking mental health support months later, he resisted psychiatric appointments and proper medication adherence, opting instead for illegal drugs like crack cocaine and cannabis. The aftermath has seen intense media coverage and public outcry, drawing parallels with past incidents in Birmingham, where individuals with serious mental illnesses had committed fatal attacks. The patterns suggest a disturbing recurrence of systemic failures. Notably, comments from significant figures in the field stress that investigative reports and reviews must go beyond highlighting missed opportunities and instead enforce accountability and concrete changes within the involved institutions. As Birmingham grapples with these events, authorities are under pressure to ensure such lapses do not happen again. The Billington family, mourning an irreplaceable loss, demands that future preventative measures must be robust and infallible. The forthcoming NHS-led serious case review is expected to scrutinise the involved agency's actions leading up to the attacks, with hopes pinned on deriving actionable insights to forestall similar tragedies. While the city of Birmingham continues its healing process, the haunting night of the 6th of September 2020 remains a stark reminder of the consequences of collective systemic failures. For the Billington family and the broader community, the fight for justice and comprehensive reform is just the beginning. So, how do you think mental health systems should be reformed to prevent individuals with severe conditions from committing acts of violence in the community? What measures do you believe should be in place to ensure proper monitoring and support of individuals with a history of mental illness and criminal activity after their release from prison? And in light of the Birmingham stabbings, do you trust that current multi-agency approaches, which involve police, probation, prison and health services, are adequate in managing and preventing such tragedies? If not, what changes would you propose? Please leave your comments and remember to like the video and subscribe if you found this content valuable.